Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we really try and take your curiosity and, fast track it straight to expertise. We've probably all been there, right? That last minute bug fix pushed to production and suddenly chaos, manual steps, environments all over the place, frantic debugging. Today, we're really plunging into how Azure Pipelines for Kubernetes can transform that potential nightmare into something much more predictable, an automated rhythm. So if you've ever wrestled with getting your applications consistently, reliably deployed to Kubernetes, this deep dive is definitely for you. We're going to unpack why Azure Pipelines isn't just, another CI/CD tool, but actually a pretty significant accelerator for getting your modern apps onto Kubernetes clusters. You should walk away not just understanding the mechanics, but really grasping its unique advantages. Okay, so we know those pain points. Lots of teams might already have some kind of CI/CD maybe, or they're trying to wrangle Kubernetes deployments manually. What's the specific gap or maybe the unique advantage Azure Pipelines brings that might surprise someone already working with Kubernetes, especially compared to like a more generic setup?
Yeah, it's a good question. What's truly insightful here, I think, is how it centralizes and streamlines processes that often feel really fragmented, right? Without a robust system, yeah, you're looking at slow, error-prone manual steps. Building container images, deploying to AKS or other clusters, it's tedious. But it's beyond just the automation piece. Azure Pipelines, because it integrates so tightly with Azure DevOps, it kind of acts as a single source of truth for your Kubernetes ops. And that is so crucial for things like navigating complex rollbacks, making sure every change is traceable, and having that audited deployment history. These are challenges many teams only really bump into after a critical failure or maybe compliance audit pops up. It drastically cuts down on that environment drift problem, making sure what you test in staging is exactly what goes to prod.
Okay, that sounds incredibly robust. That single source of truth idea is powerful. So if Azure Pipelines brings order here, how does it actually work? Like in the context of Kubernetes, let's start with continuous integration.
It's exactly CI, continuous integration. That's the crucial first step. It's where your application code, and importantly, your Kubernetes manifest too, like your deployment, your service YAMLs. They all get automatically built and tested every single time a change is committed.
Okay.
Imagine pushing an update to your web apps code in, say, a Git repo, and Azure Pipeline just triggers instantly. It builds a fresh container image using Docker tasks, often pushing it straight to Azure Container Registry, ACR, and crucially, it then runs your unit tests. It can even link your Kubernetes manifests to check for, best practices or errors.
Ah, so it catches bad YAML too, not just code bugs.
Absolutely. It catches issues incredibly early. Could be broken code, could be malformed YAML. It makes sure your application is genuinely in a deployable state before it even gets near a cluster.
Okay. Now here's where it gets really interesting for me, the deployment part. Once it's built and tested, how does continuous deployment, the CD side, take over and get that app safely into our Kubernetes clusters?
Right, so after a successful CI stage, the CD pipeline automatically picks up that verified container image and those tested manifests, and it deploys them directly to your Kubernetes clusters, like AKS. And this isn't just about, reducing manual clicks. It's really about ensuring absolute consistency.
How does it do the actual deployment? Like what tools?
Good question. You can apply those Kubernetes manifests using familiar tools, things like kubectl, the standard command line interface. Or you could use Helm charts for packaging, or maybe customize for declarative customization. The system also inherently supports multi-stage deployments. So you could have, say, an automated deployment to a staging environment,
Right.
followed by maybe a manual approval gate before anything hits production. Adds a really vital layer of safety.
Makes sense. And rollbacks, if something does go wrong.
Yep, and that's critical. If something does go wrong post-deployment, it supports quick, reliable rollbacks to a previous stable version. That consistency and control it offers, it makes delivering updates remarkably dependable.
This is clearly a powerful setup. So for someone listening wanting to leverage this power, what should they keep in mind to really make the most of Azure Pipelines for Kubernetes? What are the key, maybe architectural things to consider?
Yeah, that raises a really important point about effective implementation. First off, security. It has to be paramount. You really want to leverage Azure-managed identities for authenticating to AKS.
Ah, managed identities. So that means the pipeline authenticates securely without needing secrets stored directly in the pipeline config.
Exactly. You've got it.
Yeah.
It means your pipeline can securely interact with your cluster without you having to manage sensitive credentials directly. That vastly reduces your attack surface. It's a huge win. And combine this with RBAC role-based access control inside Kubernetes itself. Make sure your pipelines only have the minimum necessary permissions to do their job. Least privilege.
Okay, secure authentication and authorization. What else?
Comprehensive testing in CI. It's non-negotiable. You need to catch issues early. And not just for code, but test your infrastructure configuration too, if possible. Also, make sure you have robust artifact management. Store your container images, your Helm charts securely. Azure Container Registry or Azure Artifacts are great for this.
Got it. Secure artifacts.
Yep. And finally, monitor your pipeline runs. Use Azure Monitor to keep an eye on things, makes troubleshooting way easier. And maybe think about optimization, like caching dependencies, to speed up your builds.
Wow, that was a truly insightful deep dive into Azure Pipelines for Kubernetes. It seems really clear that this service provides a structured, secure, and incredibly efficient path to automating CI/CD. It solves some serious headaches around those manual processes and inconsistent deployments we talked about earlier. So you, the listener, should now have a pretty solid understanding of its core parts, from CI building and testing your code to CD reliably pushing it to Kubernetes, all while integrating robust security.
Indeed. That structured pipeline architecture, combined with the native Azure integrations and those strong security features we mentioned, it really makes it a formidable tool. For you, the learner, I think the key takeaway isn't just the automation itself, it's the confidence it builds. You can actually know your deployments are consistent, they're secure, and they're traceable.
Yeah, that confidence piece is huge.
It really is. So maybe, why not start small? Take a basic web app, containerize it, set up a simple Azure pipeline, maybe just build and deploy it to AKS using Helm. That practical step, that'll really solidify these concepts and show you the immediate value pretty quickly.
Excellent advice. We hope this deep dive helps you move faster and, crucially, with far more confidence in your Kubernetes application delivery. Now go forth and automate and build with confidence.